Hello, Holy Ones. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this space. Oh, I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. And I had so many different ideas of what I was going to share this week. There's so much information coming in. Or really, let's reword that. Let's start off with a bang. There's so much of us moving into this information. Give yourself a moment with that sentence. We've said it the opposite for so long. If you really think about it, for a long time, for many of us, we've said the downloads are coming in, the information is coming in, almost like, finding its way down to us. But really, I think what we could also allow, yes, we could also allow is the visual, the understanding of us moving into a space of vibration in our own consciousness, in our own soul, our own being, in which we are in alignment with this higher information, if you will. Does that make sense to you? To just allow ourselves to flip it and see it from both spaces of understanding. So, okay, I love that. I love that. That's wonderful. You bring out the best in me. Thank you. I think we bring out the best in one another, our beautiful family of light walking this together. So there's so much information that we are in align with, now, and we are really beginning to implement that more and more. And that is another reason why some of you noticed the thumbnail. So the little picture I create to promote this space, you notice that it'll say new human class, or new human Zoom. And then I started adding in, just I think in the last 2 weeks, maybe, some of you were here for the class that kind of sparked that knowing. I started adding the words new field. And we started really allowing ourselves to kind of envision and sink into the understanding of ourselves as not just new human, but new fields. We, you, I, the collective. You have an individual field of flow that is your individual experiential space. You have collective flows that have to do with all the different collectives you are a part of, whether they're your family, your friends, your co-workers, students, groups like this. And then you also have the overall umbrella of human collective. But get this, let's go even further, all right? Let's allow this sentence, universal collective. Ooh, isn't that fun? Oh my goodness, that's so exciting, right? So universal collective, and you could also even, allow yourself to play with, imagine, lean into, conceptualize what universal collective feels like to you. Some of you love to draw, right? That would be fantastic. Let yourselves draw what universal collective means to you. And you could lean into galactic collective, cosmic collective, ancestral collective. How lovely, right? I mean, it really is a way in which this is an applicable tool, whether you're an artist or not. You have an imagination. Everyone can draw with the pen of their imagination. Yes. So no judgment on how you are an artist in your imagination, right? But that's a powerful tool we have. So put that in your back pocket. Take that home with you today. And over the next few days, whether you're drawing with an actual pen or pencil or, painting, or whether you are using your imagination, spend a moment to just take a second and draw what you see as universal collective. And your art might change, and should, most likely will, as you change, right? As you continue, and I continue, and we continue to expand our understanding of ourselves, which incorporates everything we are and everything around us, yes? Then that which we would draw or imagine will also adapt and change with us. So it's incredibly powerful little tool there that we can work with. Another reason why this is really coming in strongly right now with the understanding of the new human, the new field, and then using your imagination to allow you to visualize these spaces, and use your imagination to allow you to visualize the connectivity of the spaces, is because you are that new field. This is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Every once in a while, I have these types of classes where I make the joke, and we have a lot of new people coming in. So I'm going to make the joke and they'll get a giggle for the first time. And you guys that have been with me for a long time, you'll giggle again just at me making the joke again. But, you know, in the movie Star Trek, if anybody follows that, that show at all, it's been around for a very long time. I watched it as a little girl. My mother loved the original Star Trek TV show, you know, Captain Kirk, very, very structured, and how he, what's that over there? You know, like really, like it's a joke now, right? Little shout out old school Star Trek for anyone who connects in with that. But in the show Star Trek, in the concepts there, they have a character named Spock, and he's a Vulcan, and he has these abilities, many different ones. But one of his abilities is he can place his hand on someone's head, and he can convey this mass amount of understanding of what he's understanding in the space of it, and the other person will just, woo, you know. The way the show depicted it, it was a pretty intense space, but it was really cool, right? This is one of those classes. I want to put my hand, I want to come right through the Zoom screen, and I want to touch your forehead, and I just want to sit there for a minute, and I just want to send it all to you, you know? There's so much vast richness that is knocking on our door. Knocking on our door. And we are in an entirely new vibrational state of how we are being ourselves. And that is reflective to you on the most physicality, experiential, mundane, regular, everyday life. When you look at how you interact with people, how they interact with you, it's happening there. The new field of you is coming through in that reflection. For some, it may be coming in really big and you can't mistake it. And for others, it may be a whisper. And then it ripples out through into all of the vastness of you. What we've been doing, and what we are doing, is we're walking ourselves into our vastness. We were and are never not it. But in the human program or belief structure, we were basically, some of these words are just not the most beneficial, but I'm doing my best to find one that would fit here best. Most human structured teachings are not optimal for the human to remember itself as sovereign. Most human teachings are not set up for you to understand the power you are. Not even the power you hold. That is true, you hold it, but the power you are. Meaning it can never be taken out of your hands, truly, it's always there. So what we're doing is we're walking ourselves back into that space. We talk about ascension and people see awakening, spiritual awakening, ascension. We talk about these topics, these words, and a lot of people will see it as an I too, like, you know, ascending, right? Like going up, right? Have you had that visual before? You know, like you're just, you know, going right up into this higher space of you, right? All right. So I think what we could also do here today that would be really exciting for the way in which we are expanding, would give us like a boost, if you will, right? Is to allow ourselves to imagine for a moment, in addition, if you'd like, we don't have to take anything away from the table. In addition to going up, ascending, you could also allow yourself to imagine, feel into, conceptualize, allowing the self to be going within, going like falling back into yourself, being caught in the arms of your full remembrance, being held within the space of the sovereignty of you. because that is truly what you're doing, what I'm doing, what we're doing, We're really, hey, this is going to be a big one for some years to hear, maybe, but it's all right because we're anchoring the new spaces of ourselves and we hear it, we're able to do it because we can process it. It's all energy. But for some, it's been a journey to get out of Dodge. That's a saying we have in the US when you don't like the place you're in. I don't know what it is on other spaces on the planet, but it's like, I got to get out of Dodge. I got to get out of here, But really, I believe it would be very beneficial for us to almost see if you feel comfortable, do what you feel comfortable with, but allow yourself to entertain the thought, if you ever wanted to get out of here. And I myself had days I wanted to get out of here, so I'm not trying to judge anybody for having them, but allow yourself to drop that for one moment and try on a new vibe. And I've been wearing a new vibe. Many of you have been wearing a new vibe. Some of you have been trying on a new vibe. Yeah. And then letting it, go back into the closet and you put back on the old vibe and then you go get the new vibe back out again. All right. But the new vibe, instead of, I got to get out of Dodge, I got to get out of here. Ia kanea tawa. The new vibe could be, I am home. I am home. And it doesn't necessarily mean I'm home as in only human on earth, because that is a spot of your understanding and mine as well. Yes, we acknowledge that. But the depth of I am home that I am conveying to you here is the I am home, no matter what my physical eyes open to see. If my physical eyes open, and maybe they're different physical eyes because I leave this particular space of existence and they open up and I'm in another space of existence. It's that type of home. That is the home within the soul. It is the home within the I am, not dependent upon the place it inhabits, but dependent upon the understanding of itself as truly, this sounds, I don't know, cliche or weird in a sense, but it's not. It's really authentic. All that is. This you that you are in your wholeness, your soul, your eternal light, your beingness, your consciousness is truly all that is. And as this space of you has experiences to assist it to grow, to remember itself, to expand itself, to be itself, to live, having that sense of home within the consciousness opens up everything, wherever you find your consciousness experiencing itself. So I hope this is conveying correctly. Like I said, I wanted to put my hand on your head because some of these things sound a little trippy, but I really think everybody here gets what I'm saying. So here, I'm going to jump in here real quick. Let's see. Oh, Maya felt my hand on her, felt the hand before you said it. Beautiful, Maya. I love it. I love it. That's incredibly beautiful. We're very interconnected, Holy One. Doreen, I've been feeling I want to get out of Dodge a lot lately. Oh, Doreen, thank you for sharing, Holy One. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so thank you for the new perspective, she says. All right, so yes, and that's going to lead in beautifully to a little bit more depth here for what I want to go into. All right, so this is really like hands-on. Let's get real with our power, because that's what you are. You're a powerful sovereign being of light who's inhabiting a human format to allow its consciousness to continue to expand. You have interconnections with other beings. Yes, you have interconnections with other spaces. This gets really trippy because in essence, in one way or another, they are all coming from the source space. So they are a part of us in a sense of that understanding of unity consciousness. But your power, I believe, my power, lies in allowing ourselves to really clarify our focus. Clarify our focus, all right? And if you want to make note of anything, think about those words this week. What am I focusing on? What am I feeding my attention to? What parts of my life am I spending my time thinking about? because really that is a way in which we create, by just thinking. And here's the thing, because you're a new field, because you're a new human, you're a new field. What does that mean? I'll reiterate again. I'm going to say this a lot because it's solidifying. It's really sinking in. All right. You're functioning at a new space of you consciously, which is allowing you to function at a new space of you physically. It's allowing you to function at a new space of you emotionally, mentally. All the ways you be you shift and change as you shift and change the core of who you think you are. So whoever you think you are is reflecting back to you from your outer experiences. And this is really important because a lot of times that reflection is not fun. Like Doreen said, she's been wanting to get out of Dodge a lot lately, right? So one of the things we can all do is, when the reflection makes us want to feel that way, we can remember that the core space of ourself, no matter what we're experiencing, right? No matter who's saying what or doing what or how we're feeling about it, the core space of our understanding of who we are is not that stays, that is not temporary. The outer experience is the temporary space. We've been trained to put everything into the outer, right? Like all of the attention, all of the focus, so much so that it consumed, I believe, our ability to hear and connect in with our spirit. It consumed our ability to sense and feel and get to know that we are this vast, limitless, sovereign space of consciousness. All right. Now, I work with so many clients and students all over the world. Many of you have worked with me, and we've seen spaces together where it's been really difficult at times to see past the outer experiential spaces, the relationships, the jobs, the weights, the body, the whatever it is, you know? And that is what I think has happened. That is why that's the wake up space as well, because people just come to a point where that echo from the I am is coming in and pinging and saying, you're more. You're more. And so the flare up of the outer world, because it doesn't align with you're more, it aligns with you're broken. It aligns with you're less. It aligns with you're not enough, right? That's the outer reflection when it's uncomfortable. So the inner I am is pinging us, right? And it's saying you're more. So that's that energy not able to align. That's why it feels the way it feels. We've also kind of adopted this mindset or a program belief structure that says we have to find this. A lot of people don't like when I talk about this, but that's all right. I love everybody, and everybody loves me in the long run. We have this mindset where we have to find the specific spaces of our life experiences that birthed us thinking we're not enough, or birthed whatever is off in us that's making us create the outer reflection that's uncomfortable. And people call it shadow work. They call it, dark night of the soul. They call it the awakening process. There's all different names that have been put on it. And I'm not saying you can't do anything the way you feel you need to do it. I'm just saying there's other options. There's additional ways you can navigate understanding the healing of you. And how do I know that? Because I did it. So I can speak from my personal understanding of what happened. I came into the understanding of what I'm telling you here many, many years ago, like, I don't know, 15 years ago, somewhere in there. I came into this understanding of me being more than what I was seeing in my experiential world. And I really started to focus, think about, read about, learn about, which we are all doing, or you wouldn't be here, right? These additional spaces of myself. And as I started to learn about the additional spaces of myself, without thinking I had to go in and dig anything up from my past, I didn't do that. I'm not saying it's a wrong way. I take people in and we do that if that's what you need, because you need to know you. You need to do you your way. But I want you to understand this way of which you shift every single thing by just understanding you can shift every single thing. I know, right? That's crazy. How dare someone speak such a simplistic yet profound sentence? But here's another reason why I have to say this today. Because you are in a new field space, you're moving energy faster than you ever have before. Many of you know what I'm talking about. You're manifesting, you're creating, you're blinking, literally blinking, turning around and going, holy crap, I just thought of that. I just thought about dragonflies and now there's dragonfly outside my car. Or I just thought about so-and-so and they just called me. Or you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Why are we picking up on it more? One, we're more present. And it's more blatant. It's more in our face because the fields of energy are so much higher, whether you're on the boat or not, right? You could be in the water grabbing for the life raft. We've talked about that before, right? You fall off the boat. You got to wait for the life raft to come from your, guides, your team, your inner knowing. You grip back on the boat. But the thing is the ocean of the field, the whole universal collective, whatever words we want to say, the whole of it all, the source space of it all is all shifting. It's all moving. It's all connected. It's not just like this little planet Earth over in the Milky Way has decided to have an awakening and the humans are going to be different. It's interconnected with all life, all consciousness, interconnected. So it's really important that we humans who are in this massive shift space of growth and expansion allow ourselves these spaces like this, like these classes, like when you do meditation, when you do energy work, when you allow yourself to nurture and give your attention, give your focus, give your notation to your spiritual space, you're bringing balance in. Because for a very long time, everything's been about the physical. And we're not saying to give up the physical, because that's a precious space of how we figure us out. It's a precious, rare, incredibly valuable tool and space that we get to have. That shifts, I got to get out of Dodge as well. But do you see how you can only have that view if you are coming from this vantage point of understanding of your I am? The I am holds that vantage point. The sovereignty within you holds that vantage point. It holds that perception. It holds that view. So the more you allow yourself to remember you are more, right? The more that you're going to be allowing the flow of that vantage point to be assisting the space of your experiences to align to that. Okay. It's just so important to understand nothing out there is being created without some type of connectivity to something in here. All right. Now, when you get out on a collective level, it gets a little trippier to describe, but it's still spaces of the whole at some point of itself moving, being given the opportunity to see itself. All right, let me check this real quick. Lucretia wrote in, Acasma lets me know that I can be done with shadow work. Oh, thank you, Holy One. I could view triggering events from my wholeness. From a place of light. Yes. Oh, I could have read that before I just said what I said. You said it beautifully, Lucretia. I love that. And so she's speaking of ACASMA Quantum Energy, and that came in 2020. It's older than that. It's ancient future. So many new people finding this work. Lucretia is an ACASMA Quantum Energy facilitator. So she does energy session work with this. She learned from one of my students. Lucretia, I believe you're a master now as well. You shake your head for me. I'm right. Yes, master teacher. So she's really moved quite far in this work, and she's implemented it in her life. It is a way in which we can assist ourselves. It is truly an ascension modality. It's a healing modality. It's an energy modality, but it is assisting us in all that we're talking about here today. It really is. It's assisting us in grounding it, not just, I always use this in little understanding. You can have a book with every answer to every question you ever had. But if you don't take that book off of the shelf and open it up and read it and then choose to implement it, it is just a book of answers. It's not anything more than that. So Acasma is a means in which we're finding assistance from ourselves. It's not a savior, it's not a religion. Cosmo is a consciousness in what we would understand as even a higher field of existence or vibration of consciousness, of the universal consciousness, where we are assisting ourselves in that remembrance of we are more. Yes, so thank you, Lucretia, for bringing that into this space. Thank you very, very much. So yes, when we're allowing ourselves these understandings, we're actually, just even by hearing them, me by speaking them, you by hearing them, Lucretia, anybody writing in, Maya, all this right here, this is a way in which it begins to anchor in our experiential spaces more. Because whatever you talk about, whatever you think about, whatever you give that focus to, and on however you're doing it, me, all of us, those spaces take root. All right. So if you want to get out of Dodge, look around at the reasons why you want to get out and think about how much you've been feeding, if, right? How much you've been feeding those spaces. And I know some can be really hard not to feed because they can seem all consuming sometimes, because they can just seem so big and so dense. We have the opportunity in the dense spaces, if we will make note to ourselves, hold on a second, this feels dense, this feels off, this feels wrong, this feels heavy, this feels dark, this feels annoying, frustrating, whatever it is, scary. If you're having one of those spaces, tell your being, like in your own knowing, hold on a moment. Where am I looking at this from? What space of me is reading this, interpreting it? Most of the time, it's the human self space that has, for whatever reason, got a little bit out of alignment with its heart and its remembrance of its I am. Most of the time, and I find it for myself, when it feels uncomfortable, I'm taking it really personal. I've made it really big in the now. I've made it bigger than me. And that's why it feels like it feels, So what do? You make note that you're having that moment and you try your best to adjust your vantage point by reminding yourself of who you are. Really, I know this seems like it could be too easy. Oh my God, you mean if I just remember I'm sovereign, the things I'm feeling are going to change? Yes, they really will. Maybe it might take you a little bit more in the very beginning, like, an hour or so. I know that seems crazy. People say, are you kidding me? I've been carrying around this for 10 years. You tell me I can get rid of it in a couple hours? If you can shift the space of you that is looking at it, you will shift the way in which it feels to you. If you were in a physical altercation with someone, let's just for fun say, Lucretia and I wrestle. I said it would be for fun. We'll get a giggle. So to say Lucretia and I are wrestling right here in my living room, right, for fun. But Lucretia, she is able to push me over and she gets up on top of me, right? I look up at her and she looks so powerful and big. And I feel like I can't move. And I feel like I'm stuck. And if I keep looking at her and keep allowing that alignment with her, she's got me pinned. I'm not going anywhere. Maybe tap my hand. I think that's what you do to get them to let you up. I don't know. But that's what's happening when we're having our physical experiences, You're having a conversation with somebody and they don't agree with you. And so it sparks this space inside of you that feels like you're pinned. They may not even be touching you. They might be on a phone or an email, for God's sake. But it feels like they've got you pinned because they don't agree with your now human belief structure, experiential space of itself. Okay. But can you allow yourself to remember you're more than just your not the human experiential space of yourself? Can you, in that moment when they disagree with you, or when they do something out of alignment with what you would think is okay and good, can you remember you are more? Can you just allow yourself to bring in the you are more in your imagination? We started off saying, paint your picture of what you think you look like, the collective looks like, the universal collective, the galactic, whatever it is, all of the above. Why would I want you to play with that? Because then when you have these moments, and I have these moments, as I have them too, someone I love, I have a moment where they may act in a way in which I don't think they appreciate me. Or maybe they don't see all that I'm doing for them or something like that, right? So my now human version is having that uncomfortable space because I feel pinned down by that energy, because I am separating myself out and then I'm looking at them. So I say to myself, hold on a minute, Andrea. I really do. I talk to myself. It's very helpful. I say, hold on a minute, Andrea. If you're feeling uncomfortable, you're taking it too personal. That's what I say to me. Okay. My best friend would say that to me. If I had a best friend and I told them this story, they say, are you taking this too personal? Did you take, I say to myself too, there's all different situations. Sometimes I'll say to myself, maybe step back, Andrea, and just imagine why they said what they said. Like from a neutral point of view. Imagine a couple scenarios, because when you do that, you free yourself up from that one pinning you down, being all there is. All right. And what else are you doing? There's a whole nother level here. You're actually opening up the energy lines. You're opening up the energy lines that are creating how the thing's going to play out. Because guess what? It's not happening to you or me. It's happening because of the way we are perceiving it and the way we believe it. So if you are in a space and you're really wanting to shift it, talk to yourself to remember who you are, move into that space of that alignment as best you can. And it gets easier and it gets better and it gets quicker the more you do it, just like anything else, right? You get on a bike the first time in America, they stick little training wheels on your bike, and your person helping you learn holds your seat and runs alongside you, and you're tipping. And then eventually they take the little wheels off and they run alongside you and you're doing a little bit better. May fall once or twice, but eventually, we rode bikes a lot when I was a kid, but I was a kid of the 80s. So I don't know. I don't think they ride bikes like they used to, but eventually you're sitting back on that bike and you don't even have to hold the handlebars, you're all cool Joe, you can ride without holding the handlebars because you're so good at it, because you've done it so much, right? That's what's going to happen. The more you implement, you are more in the spaces you feel less. Hello, can we make a t-shirt out of this or a bumper sticker? The more you implement, I am more in the spaces where you're feeling like I am less, then the better you're going to get at moving that energy. And what's happening is, in the moments where you feel like you're pinned, or you feel like you're less, or you feel that discomfort, if you choose to get up all in it, right? If you choose, because we all understand what that sentence means, get up all in it. Hello, every single person's been getting all up in something at some point or another, right? All right, okay. But when we do that, when we get into the space of the drama, or into the space of the difficult emotion, whatever it is, and we feed it, we're actually like gripping it. Okay. Now I want you to see this with me briefly. If you grip something, like say I had some type of hose in my hand, like water would go through, and it was rubber and I could squeeze it and grip it. Will the water flow through at the same rate if I'm gripping it? Or will it kind of slow it down, maybe even cut it off and make it be just what it is and not allow it to move into the next flow of itself freely until I release the grip, right? All right, everybody got their visual, everybody on board? So when you're having a moment with your own thoughts or with another person or an experiential space, and it's not aligning with a space you're feeling comfortable in, if you can remember not to grip it, if you can remember you hold the power, the energy is going to move if you allow it to move. And it'll move in the direction where you focus your attention. How you see people factors in. Yes, you cannot control them. Yes, they have their own journey. Yes, they need to do it their way. But if you keep seeing those people that irritate you as people that irritate you, they will always irritate you. So if you want to give yourself a break, think about giving your person a break as well. And just, you know, I'm not condoning abuse. I'm not condoning difficult relationships or anything like that. Set boundaries, take good care of yourself always. But if you're in a situation where it's a matter of you are uncomfortable with the way it's flowing, but you don't want to feed that uncomfortable energy and create more of it, allow yourself to see you as more. Allow yourself to shift the space of you that's looking at it and feeling it and experiencing it, whatever it is. And when you're ready, add on allowing yourself to look for what is right in the person or the thought you're having or the experiential space. Allow yourself to try to find something in there you can bless. Do you understand me? So how would I do that if it was a thought? Or if I had a thought that wouldn't leave me alone and it was not a thought I wanted to have, I would say, I'm trying to think if I want to give you an actual one I've had, because I have done some of this work in specific spaces. I would say to myself, I'm having this thought because I'm allowing myself the opportunity to shift my vibration. Do you get right away just the difference in that? I'm not going, this thought is driving me crazy. I can't believe how broken I am. I always go here. My mind is dark. You know, I'm not trying to belittle that because I lived in that. I healed myself of anxiety, panic attacks. Not nice spaces. But I was feeding them. That's why they were there. Energy, it cannot be unless you give it something to root into, connect onto, and live off of. All right. So if you're having a thought that you need to work with, you need to change the perceptual view of the thought. So go into I am more, right? I am more. Who's looking at the thought? Okay, I'm having it in my head in my human form, but why? I'm giving myself the opportunity to understand this space of myself so that I can choose to run my energy differently. That's just one way you could look at it, all right? And in every experiential space of ourselves, we are giving ourselves that opportunity to run it differently. It is you. It is the experiential spaces. It is the all. And this is such an incredibly powerful level because it's the boots on the ground. That's another term we use. So it's the very physical based implementation space of this teaching, right? But at the same time, there's always layers of teachings and understandings that are connected with the boots on the ground, the implementation, the way in which you choose to be you, right? So these other layers, they're all playing out at the same time. They're layers of you, they're layers of me. So as my consciousness is inhabiting my form as Andrea and has her physical experiential life, emotional, mental, as that space of me experiencing itself expands, the spaces of me that we are telling ourselves to remember we are, the wholeness, the soul, the eternal, the consciousness, those spaces expand as well. This is really big. Think about this for a minute. Your now is not expanding because your savior self is showing up and fixing you. Your now is expanding because you are remembering you're the savior. It's a really, really cool space of understanding. And it's important because we are on new fields, we are new humans. And it's important because on those new fields, there's new interactions. And many of you already know where I'm going with this. So you're communicating with other beings that are higher dimensional, they're interdimensional. You're communicating, you're understanding you're in the same existence, if you will, like the same proximity, right? That's, and this is just the beginning. Oh my goodness. All right. So you are walking yourself through the door to the next space of you. We are walking ourselves through the door to the next space of us. It's all happening. And the increments of the collective. So I'm an increment, you're an increment, you're an increment, the increments make up the whole. Does that make sense to you? And then again, you can stretch that out, like I said, beyond the human collective, and you can go universal collective, right? Cosmic, galactic, all these terms we use. And it's good for us to play with those, though. It's good for us to say them, these bigger terms and kind of sideline notes, because it's just allowing even more of the vastness to be able to be picked up on. Does that make sense to you? Even if we don't go all the way down the road and say, well, what exactly do you mean by universal consciousness, and spend an hour there? Because we can, and I'd love to, but we're already 42 minutes into this conversation. So I just want to give this to you. Allowing yourself to play with, think about, ponder, contemplate, draw, imagine the vastness in the various ways the vastness is, will help the flow of the now understandings of yourself to implement more smoothly, to implement more deeply, because they have the space to do it. We talked about releasing grip, right? And allowing flow. And in that understanding, you can also see the way in which we can sometimes grip the understanding of ourself, the understanding of who we are. And we can label and identify ourselves with such strictness that there's no flow moving through, because we've cut ourselves off and said, I'm a this and I'm a that, and we've lowered ourselves down to this very small space of what we allow ourselves to be. And so what we're talking about in this class, what we talk about in Acasma, what we talk about in the work I do, is releasing that grip to allow that flow, not even, just the experiential everyday spaces with other people, with your thoughts and with that space of you, but also with how you think of who you are, what you are, where you are, why you are. Allowing that release of the grip, allowing yourself, a lot of people want me to give a lot of specifics. They'll say, are you an Octurian? Are you a Palladian? Are you what, they want me to give them, are you an angel? I have people ask me all kinds of wonderful things. I love it that's how interesting I must seem, that people ask me these things. How cool is that, right? And I think to myself, the minute that I start to identify in one specific manner, which I know I am vast, I know I am many of these spaces, if, possibly even in a sense all, because we all are, really. We all are connected into the source space of it all that filters out into the many. But I'm really big on not labeling. And many of you that work with me know that about me. People say, oh, I really want you to help me understand Lemuria because I know I'm a star mother. And I know I work with star mothers. Yes, I understand that space. But I always say to people, I will tell you if I know you are one and it comes in a session space or we're working together in some way and I convey it to you, I will share that with you. But I always say, and I know many of you can attest to this, just please remember you are also more. Because I just don't want anybody getting stuck in one space of the flow. I want you to always be open to, you are more. And you will always be, you are more. All along the path of allowing yourself to remember who you are. So let's see, a few more comments came in here. We don't fret, we flow. Yes, Lucretia, yes, I love it. Amir, so true. Thank you for being here, Holy One. And thank you for being in the live on YouTube the other day as well. Yet last night, my times are all over the place in my being. I don't follow the linear spaces anymore, really. All right, Holly, beautiful. Every space is an opportunity for more understanding and more light and love. Yes, excellent vantage point. The minute that's the vantage point, you're allowing that type of flow to move to that space, whatever the space is. This is an opportunity of understanding. This is an opportunity of expansion. And whether the other person has that type of experience is none of your business, none of my business. I don't gotta, no, I'm in charge of this girl, right? What is that saying? I like to say silly things and funny little comments and phrases. I'm all over the place. I'm such an eclectic soul. I love all music. I love all different types of, spaces of humanity. You do you, boo. I think that's a saying. All right, so everybody needs to stay in their own lane, I think. All right, let's see. Mentally ungripping unwanted energies, thoughts, etc. Very powerful. Yes, very good. And it is the key to remember that the focus, the thought process, the attention that we give is how we grip, right? So the minute we start to find ourselves really getting up in something, we can go, hold on a second, I'm gripping this. Do I want to carry this? Do I want to hold this energy? Do I want to feed it? Do I want to align more of it? And remember we talked about how quickly you are manifesting, how quickly you are creating. We are in a different space. Always take that into consideration as well. The new field, everything's moving much faster. So you're amplifying relationships, you're amplifying lack, or you're amplifying wealth, or you're amplifying illness, or you're amplifying health, whatever it is, much faster than we ever have. So please, please know how powerful you are. Know how powerful you are. All right. Thank you so much for all you have shared here. I loved all this give and take today. That was so beautiful. Does anybody have any question or anything they want to share before we close this space up together? I'm going to give a little blessing for any who would like to receive. But if you have anything else you'd like to share, just watching this real quickly here. I appreciate you all so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. And whether you're here live or whether you're catching this on the video replay, it's all exactly in the divine timing, most optimally aligned for you, by you. So, and it's as powerful whether it's a live or whether it's a replay. We've had so many people confirm that across the board. All right, so this was our beautiful Being the New Human class. If you guys are not already in the grid, our beautiful Acasma grid, once a month, the end of the month, the last Saturday of the month at 10 a.m. Haven't missed one since 2020. And we have been an integral part of the ascension of humanity. So please consider joining us if you're not already there. The information's on my website. You can go to sacredexpansion.com, and in the menu, it'll say grid. Just click on that and you can sign up. It's a free event, and I offer it once a month. So I'd love to have you there if you're not already with us. But thank you all who are already there and who continue to come and be with us as pillars and anchors of light. All right, Holy Ones, let's allow a blessing here as we close this space together. If you would like to receive, just simply allow the space. You can close your physical eyes if you'd like to sink in a bit deeper. You're allowing your inner focus to open. Just allow your breath. Nice slow inhale. And on your exhale, you're just allowing yourself to fall into you. Feel your shoulders drop. Very good. You're doing it beautifully. Just allow your breath. You're just allowing your space, your vastness, in full connection with your nowness. Just allow, please. We have clearing going on the right side of the chest, the right breast, the right side of the heart. Just allow your breath. A lot of beautiful anchoring going on. So you're anchoring this understanding of yourself. You're anchoring the connectivity of your I am, your soul, your eternal being in your now form. Just allow your breath, please. Spine is being adjusted. Energy running up the spine from the root up the back to the top of the head, the crown. A lot of clearing on the right side of the chest. Just allow, please. This is some really big spaces connected with the divine masculine, connected with your masculine within your field, your being, whether you're a woman or a man in the human format. Your connectivity to the masculine, whether it's a father figure, a partner, husband, love, son, brother, doesn't matter, friend, all of the above. The way in which you connect with masculine energy, the way in which you process or have processed, or it's just a really big clearing going on. Just allow, please. Movement of the energy, yes, to a new space of which you will function, process in connection with the masculine. Allow your breath. You're bringing in balance. For some of you, it's emotional. It's a really big, beautiful space of release, almost feeling like you've been trying to get here and you've arrived and you just feel so grateful. That's beautiful. Just allow. Yes. Just allow your breath. Beautiful clearing. Now you're anchoring deeper, roots expanding. The root can grow because you have cleared the space for it to do so. Allow your breath. The root is the root center of the body. It is the connective point to the planet. It is the way in which you ground. It's the way in which you heal the human physical form, the cells, the blood, the bone, the organ, the tissue, the tendon, yes, the systems of the body. Allow, please. Absolutely beautiful. Oh my goodness, how gorgeous you are. Hello, Holy One. Hello. Ooh, you have moved into an entirely new depth of you. Yes. Oh, allow your breath, please. Yakoa. Just allow your breath. Crown is opening. Some of you, your wings of light out your back. Others of you, some type of understanding of the crown. Ooh, really big energy in the throat center opening up. Some of you, your crown, like a registry of the energies of the sun, the crystalline body, the crystalline DNA, and the vibrational shift of the planet, all in connection with the ascension of the human, the ascension of universal consciousness. Allow your breath, energy clearing from the lower left kidney. Lower left kidney. This can be a physical ailment for possible, those connecting here, something off in the kidney, left kidney. Oh yes, Tawa Oa. Beautiful big clearing just then. Just allow, please. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Very good release. Very good release. Just allow the space. You're making room for this consciousness of this you are more. Yes. You are anchoring it into your now form. It will be fully available to you as you experience you, for you to remember the more that you are. Allow your breath. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. If you feel to, you can slowly put your hands in prayer position, eyes still closed. Allow your prayer position hands against your heart. Just allow yourself to sit there for a moment. Breathe. Feeling the energy running through the body, the physical form, through the hands. Down the legs, out the feet. Woo. Up the torso, out the crown. Third eye vibrant. Heart blessed. Heart open. Allowing the flow from the heart to the mind. Allowing the I am, the higher heart, the higher mind, in the now form. Allow your breath. Beautifully done. And if you feel to, you can bow forward just a bit, acknowledging the divinity within all. When you're ready, you pull yourself back upright and you're acknowledging the divinity within you. When you're ready, you can bring your focus back to your physical eyesight. My eyes are a little jumpy. I went really deep, really fast. Whew, that's so interesting to me. It's like when I have a chiropractic adjustment, sometimes I come out and my eyes are like, woof, I have to allow the energy, the vibration to recalibrate itself even in my physical sight changing. How beautiful. Yes, we make note and we allow. We make note and we allow. Thank you for the feedback in here. Thank you, Ursula. Thank you, Amir. I am honored to be in your presence. Thank you, Lucretia. Thank you all. Deeply honored. Unending blessings upon you, holy divine ones, upon every step, every breath, every thought, every feeling, every space of you. Yasoe yanatawatea. Yanatawatea. Ianakoakea. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you, Holy Ones. Thank you. Write me an email. Tell me something you thought of or heard or envisioned. If you want to allow the week to unfold and then write me, I'm always here. I would love to hear from you. Thank you for being here, Holy Ones. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for all the love.